Okay, so hey guys, and welcome to another video after quite a long break of not making very many. So I'm here with the review of the Velbon Videomate 638 video tripod. So yeah, let's get straight into it. This tripod carries about 6 kilograms and it extends to a height of 1.7 meters, and it's got an amazing, quite famous fluid video head. So it's pretty amazing for £54 or $99. So yeah, let's get into the full review. So build quality could be the most important thing about a tripod for some people, and it's pretty good here considering the price. So each leg sort of is quite sturdy, but it does wobble a bit, but to be honest you don't actually notice it when the tripod's fully extended or anything, because the spread and the stability is alright. Each leg is made out of aluminium and they're pretty good, but they do wobble a bit like I just said, and I can't really complain though, because the legs are single legs, they're not triple, they're not double or anything like that, so there's no real way to eliminate that wobble. And then the extension at the top above the three main legs is pretty good, but it's a little bit wobbly and it's not as stable as just having the camera lowered down on the extension just sitting on the three legs. But it's alright, and it's actually sort of almost usable to use for sort of sliding up and down shots, so like vertical movement. And the tension control on the centre column bit in between the three legs makes this a lot easier. And yeah, so the tripod's build quality and sort of stability and sturdiness was pretty good until I started panning. I noticed that if you have the tension set quite high on a pan or a tilt, as you're moving the tripod with no camera on, the tripod will start to wobble and tip, and sort of tip onto one or two legs, which obviously isn't good. But then as soon as you do put the camera on, as long as it's sort of anything bigger than maybe a mirrorless or a low-end DSLR, you'll notice that the tripod is weighed down a lot more, so it's a lot more sturdy, it's a lot more stable, and it's a lot less likely to tip over. So I guess you want a heavier camera for this tripod, which is kind of sort of not fitting, because most people with massive heavy sort of like cinema cameras won't be buying a £50 tripod, but I guess that's just the way it goes because the kit is cheaper, so it'll be less sturdy. And by the way, the actual tripod head has no issues with build quality, that's perfectly sturdy. It's actually quite chunky for how cheap the tripod is, and it's like absolutely no wobble, and the pans and tilts are perfectly smooth, as I'll get on to talking about later. So normally I would talk about design around this point in a review, but it is a tripod, so it's not exactly like it has to look pretty. It has to be functional, but really it's certainly never going to get shown on camera. That's kind of the point of a tripod, and yeah, nobody's really going to care what it looks like. But in terms of functionality, the knobs and the dials and all the other sort of functionality based stuff is really well located, works well, and easy to reach, that sort of thing. The legs I think are also designed quite well, so they're really easy to extend and sort of shrink back to their normal size, and they've got rubber feet on the bottom, which does provide pretty good grip with some small tiny little grooves in them, so that does provide quite good grip on sort of indoor and maybe like sort of concrete type stuff outside. But take it onto stuff like muddy grass, then you're going to have more of an issue because the rubber's just going to like slip straight through it. So it would have been quite nice to see the rubber feet be removable and then have metal spikes underneath them, because that's what a lot of tripods do to sort of be fit for both situations. But yes, it's a cheap tripod, but I don't really see how that would cost that much to add in. But as I said, the design on a tripod really is not that much to talk about. It is a tripod, not a phone, not a set of headphones, nothing that's supposed to look nice, so the design isn't that relevant. But like I said, it's ergonomic, it's functional, but it's not pretty. So next, all about the sort of the pans and the tilts, and just that stuff that the head does in general. So the head is actually quite popular. It's called the PH368, and it's quite popular with a lot of other tripod legs, some cheaper tripod legs, because the tripod legs on the camera aren't that amazing. The main reason why this tripod is quite popular and is quite good for the price is the head. The head is really quite good. You can get really smooth and silky pans out of it, for really quite cheap, because the head standalone only costs about £25 or $50. So the head has dials to adjust the tension of the pans and tilts individually, which is really good to see, because you know, sometimes you want to get really smooth pans, but other times you just want to be able to move the camera quickly to the action for whatever reason. So the head's not detachable from the legs, so if you buy this tripod, it doesn't really look like the head is sort of an amazing separate thing. It just looks like it's part of the tripod. Like I said before, the vertical movement, which is not really that much to do with the actual head, but the vertical movement with the sort of extension bit on the top of the legs is pretty good, and it is sort of usable. If you play around with the tension settings in the centre column in between the legs, like I said before, you can actually sort of get quite good vertical movement, and especially for sort of action stuff, quicker stuff that you're not going to notice the finer details as much, then actually yes, you could easily use the crank on the legs to sort of move the tripod up and down for whatever reason. Also, the handle is adjustable. The handle that you control the tripod head with is adjustable. You can tilt it and rotate it so that it's sort of angled upwards, or that it's angled downwards, or to the left or the right, so that, you know, just if you're at an awkward angle or something, you can sort of still rotate and move the camera easily. So reviewing a tripod isn't necessarily that easy, because there is a lot less to talk about than something like a phone or some headphones or whatever else. But the main selling point of this tripod being the fact that it's really quite cheap at only £50 or about $99 in the US, and at the same time you can get really silky smooth pans from an amazing video tripod head, and I'd say it's 100% succeeded there. I think that it is very cheap compared to a lot of tripods, and this pans and tilts and stuff, I honestly can't tell the difference that much between this tripod's pans and say Manfrotto's highest end video head, the pans from that. And the only improvements really would be to add those metal spikes at the bottom of the legs like I talked about, just to make using the tripod on uneven ground a little easier. However, don't take this the wrong way, you can use it on uneven ground really quite easily, it's just, it'd be a lot more sturdy, especially in wet weather on unstable ground, to use it if it had metal spikes on the bottom. Also, the handle on the video head doesn't really feel that good. It's really quite plasticky, not in any way sort of rubberized or foamy or anything sort of remotely nice feeling, which is a tripod, but still I think it would have been just nice to see the extra effort put in on the handle. But other than that, there really isn't very much that I can say to improve that wouldn't really significantly increase the price. So to wrap up exactly what you'd be getting if you bought this, a pretty sturdy tripod made out of aluminium at a really low price, and it'll extend as high as you want, and you'll get amazing, really controllable, silky smooth pans and tilts, and it can support basically probably anything up to a C100, maybe even a little bit more. And all that for £54 or $99 in the US? Yes please, I think that's good enough. So thanks for watching this video guys, remember to leave a like or a dislike, subscribe for more videos, let me know in the comments what you think of this tripod, what you think of the head if you have it, or just what you think of the video. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.